Hey, good morning. It's Douglas Smith. It's Saturday morning, kind of dreary out, and just wanted to do a quick training. It's going to be less than 15 minutes. I always say that I'm in the trenches with my agents. Sean Atkins called me the other day, and he's going on a listing presentation Sunday afternoon. And because he gave me enough notice, I'm going to meet him out there, and we're going to secure this listing together. I'm going to be side by side with him. I'm just there for support to supplement his knowledge, but I am going to show you what I would do anytime I go on a listing. It's the same procedures, the same protocol every single time. So I'm sharing my screen, and we are recording. So Sean had a client that called in and basically said, "Hey, I'd like to list my home, and I live at 2520 Laurel Oaks." It is a friend of his, and that's who you do business with, people who know you, like you, and trust you. So the first thing that Sean is going to do is he's going to go into MLS. We always train here to see if it's easier to find the history of the home. If it was already in the MLS since 2003, there'll be a history of it. So the first thing we do here at DHS Realty, our MLSs all look the same. And this middle tab right here that says search, all I'm going to do is plug in the address 2520 Laurel. That's the way you spell it. And I'm going to hit search. It's going to see if there's any history of 2520 Laurel Oaks. You can see there isn't any. If there was, I would just click on the MLS number and it would give me all kinds of information. But there has been no history on it. So the next thing I need to do is I need to hover over the search tab and go all the way down to public records, which is the tax roll. In the house number, I'm going to type in 2520, and then I'm going to go 2 tabs over to Laurel, and I'm going to put the asterisk in. That wildcards that name. So I'm now looking for 2520 and any word with Laurel in the tax roll. I hit results, and you'll see that there's one in Plano East, one in Fort Worth, and one in Royce City. Well, Sean had told me the property's in Royce City. So all I do is click on the property tax ID, and here's the property. Here's the tax roll. Right here it says last listing. You can see that there's not availability for it. That means it's never been listed in the MLS before. So I'm going to print this. The next thing I'm going to do after I print the tax roll is hover over search, go residential quick, and I want to do a CMA. So this is set up for a buyer search. You can see I'm only sending active homes. So I always tell my agents in our company that you have active marks, skip the next one, pick the next 3, miss the next 2, and pick the next 2. Change 0 to 90 to 0 to 360 just to make sure you go back a year, because there might not be a lot of activity. Then down here, you're going to put the subdivision name in. The subdivision is The Meadows. I just put an asterisk after the singular The Meadow. That's going to wildcard and pull up everything that has that subdivision name. And then I type in Royce City. You can see it right there. I select it. Once it's selected, you can see there's 6 matches. I'm going to hit results. When you see the single line of all the properties, you'll check mark right above the one, which will check them all. And you'll see that Quick CMA is highlighted. Click on it. And you now print this, and this is a CMA. Now, looking at it, I can tell that homes that are about 2,200 square feet are selling for anywhere from 400 to 430. So the next thing I need to do is I need to do a net sheet. So I've gone to chicagoagent.com, but there's all kinds of apps that all the title companies have. It's the same app. The only difference is that it's the title company. So when I click on chicagoagent.com and log in, the screen that I'm going to get is a screen that's about to pop up right now. My job is that I'm going to do a net sheet. So when it opens up, you can see here as it's loading, I want to make sure that seller is highlighted. That's for a seller net sheet. Once it loads, I need to do 3 net sheets. because that's what we do here at DHS Realty. So I'm going to do 390, 400, and 410. Well, I texted the listing agent, Sean, he's an agent in my office, to ask him what he's charging the seller to list their home. And he's charging 4%. So we can compete with any brokerage out there, Redfin, any discount brokerage we can compete with, because we can list for 1%, because in our brokerage firm, there's no caps, no splits, and no BS. All we charge is $225 a transaction. So Sean's able to compete with anybody. And basically what he's doing is listing the home for 1% and he's going to get 3% to the buyer's agent. So when it opens, I'm at seller. I'm going to put 390. I'm going to hit this rotary button and it's going to say, oh, let's do 1% as a listing fee. I hit done and it's going to ask me this estimate or all estimates, only this estimate. Then I scroll down, and when I scroll down, you can see that it's got a place for taxes. I hit the dollar sign. I'm looking at the tax roll. It says the taxes are $73.12. I plug them in. I make sure everything else is blank. So the only thing that's filled in is the price, the commission, the property tax, and then if you hit the rotary under closing date, you can pick 30 days in advance. So it's always defaulted to that. And this is going to be crazy, but all you do is hit compute. Once you hit compute, the computer does all the work, factors in all the closing costs that are regulated in the state of Texas for insurance companies. It shows that he's going to walk away, the seller, with $367,982. You hit share. It then does a template for you. You hit print and you print it. Well, that was $390, so I'm going to hit the back button and I'm going to change this to $400. I tab a couple times for it to take effect. I hit compute. And we're going to now have a new net sheet. I'm going to scroll down. This one's at 400. I'm going to hit share print. I'm going to print. Then I'm going to hit the back button. And I'm going to do my last one at 410. Tab a couple times. Hit compute. And caca. You have a third net sheet. Scroll below. Hit share print. Print it. And you now log out of MLS and you're done with the NetSheet app. Your next document that you're going to go to is you need to print all the documents for the listing. So here we are at texasrealestate.com. This is how I get into my zip forms. In the top, it says my name already, so I just click on zip forms and the screen goes blue. When the screen goes blue, I'm looking for one tab and one tab only, the new tab, NEW, nothing else. I see it right there, so I'm going to click on it. Once I click on it, I have 5 boxes. I'm only concerned about the first 3. Listing is a seller, buyer is a purchase, lease is a tenant landlord. I'm going to hit listing. I'm going to name it my client. I'm going to select residential, always. And then right here it says select template. I'm going to pick listing template. I'm going to scroll down and hit save. The next screen I'm looking for is the documents tab. It's 2 over from the white summary tab. So there's the white summary tab, 2 tabs over, documents, and boom, there's the information about brokerage services, completely filled out. All I got to do is print it, which I'm going to. Once this document prints, I'm going to exit out. I'm going to hit the green back button. I'm going to print the listing agreement. Now, when I open the listing agreement, what we've done here at DHS Realty is we don't make our agents fill out the new templates. We do it for them. So all I need to do here is put the seller's name. And there's 2 sellers, so I'm going to put both of them. Everything else is pre-filled until I get down to lot description. It says right here it's lot 30. It doesn't have a block. I'm going to put the legal description. The Meadows, the city of Roy City, the county is Hunt, known as 2520 Laurel Oaks. I then scroll down to the second page. I don't know if it's an HOA or not, so I'm going to leave that blank. We don't know the price yet. We'll leave it blank. We are meeting them on Sunday, so I'm going to pick tomorrow's date. I'm going to go ahead and pick about 3 or 4 months out into the future. Pick the first. I know the commission is 4. I'm going to take out the transaction fee because it's a friend. I'm going to scroll down and everything else is done. Everything is filled out. I am going to go ahead and delete this paragraph. I'm going to hit save. Once it's saved, I'm going to print it. This is the same listing presentation I do every single time. There is no changing to it. Once it prints, I'm going to hit the back button. And I know my seller needs to fill out the seller's disclosure. I'm going to print it blank. Once it prints, I have one more document and then we're done with this listing presentation. The goal of my training is not to spend an hour and a half on a Saturday morning, but to get my agents in and out where they can go list property. No agent wants to train for an hour and a half. This is a listing input sheet. It's going to walk Sean and I through listing the home. I'm going to hit print. I'm going to hit print again. And I'm done. So to recap, just to make sure we're all clear. Whenever somebody calls you, you want to absolutely set the appointment. That's the whole goal of any marketing. Once you set the appointment, you want to go in the MLS and see if there's any activity on that home since 2003. Go ahead and pull it up. If not, you have to pull it up through the tax roll. Print it. Once you get the tax roll, you know the subdivision, do a CMA. Once you do the CMA, look at the pricing, do 3 net sheets, $10,000 difference. Once you do the 3 net sheets, you're then going to go into the MLS, into texasrealestate.com or zip forms. You're going to print an IBS and information about brokerage services. You're going to print a seller's disclosure. You're going to print a listing exclusive right to sell, and then an input form so that you can ask the questions to the seller when you're at the property. Then you're done. Get to the property about 20 minutes early. Get game face on. Listen to Eminem if you have to. Take one shot. Whatever music you have to listen to get up for the listing presentation. Knock on the door about 5 till. Greet them with a handshake. Walk in the foyer. A little bit of small talk at some point. Say, hey, show me around the house. After they show you around the house, say, why don't we have a seat in the kitchen? I'll show you what I have. And then you lock and load with what you just printed. And you train. You practice like you play. You get a broker that's in the trenches next to you, pitches a tent next to you. And that's what I do here at DHS Realty. If you're interested, give me a DM. I'm all over social media. Check out my YouTube videos. It's at DHS Realty. There's over 280. Every training is recorded. Y'all be safe. Go get some today.